Nowadays, it's rare to meet someone that's never posted a video on the internet or doesn't have some type of goal or aspiration to become a content creator in some capacity. Now with gaming, this effect is multiplied. A barrier to entry dictates how easily someone can technically enter or become part of a specific field or title. So something with a low barrier to entry means that someone can easily hop into a field, whereas a higher barrier to entry means it takes a specific qualification or certification. And with gaming, it has become so extremely low that consoles, the household means of playing games, have literal streaming and recording software built in. So now everyone and their little brother makes their attempt at someday becoming the next big Twitch or YouTube streamer. The thing they don't realize is this can completely ruin games for you. Let's take a look at Call of Duty for example. First we had the introduction of organizations such as game battles. I remember in the MW2 original days when Optic and FaZe first launched and everyone's hypnotized by their amazing skills. Not only did this incentivize people to want to become the early version of sweats we used to call tryhards, really showing my age here, but with the less skilled gamers, they also saw that they could not be extremely talented, but pull off hijinks or trick shots and maybe go viral just enough to become the next hot sensation. Now fast forward to current times, and you can barely enter a lobby without seeing someone who has TTV in their gamertag. This ends up making the entire industry swap from being just friends having fun to everyone completely consumed with being the best, because with every match, it's more than KD on the line, it's a potential future in being a self-employed entertainer. Now, don't get me wrong, I myself have my own dreams and aspirations to become a full-time content creator and maybe even hitting a little higher level than just being financially stable. But that's just my brutal honesty. Fortunately, I have a background in video production, marketing, and entertainment, and stage presence, so a lot of the required skills come naturally or were already honed for me. But what many don't realize is just how much work actually goes into making content.
You want to be a star, don't you?
And don't worry, I'm going to relate this back to why it ruins gaming. A lot of people have two misconceptions. One, that they'll make one good video and everyone will notice their amazing, unfound potential and be eager to throw money at their faces and shower them in apologies for never realizing just how much of a gem they are.
They love me.
When in reality, you can do all the editing you want, but sometimes it's just not your turn yet, and worse, the video just isn't as good as you thought. And two, our second misconception, is that once they make YouTube partner or Twitch affiliate, their problems will melt away like a nice chocolate glaze and it'll all be solved and money will flood in non-stop.
Sir, now that you've got your check, do you plan on quitting your job driving this truck?
Truck driver? I ain't no truck driver. I'm a janitor.
Janitor?
That's right, baby. I just bought this truck straight cash. And I got enough cigarettes to last me and my family for the rest of our lives. I'm rich, bitch!
Let me tell you, as a 9-month-long YouTube partner and 1-year Twitch affiliate, it only gets harder. Sure, I don't have to stress about meeting the metrics to reach those goals, and now pretty much all I have to be concerned about is making good videos. But that's just it. The only problem is making good, captivating videos that emphasize my natural personality and can bring in stable income not once, but repeatedly. As a gaming creator, specifically one thing I noticed is I'm doing more research and analysis on games than I am actually playing them. When you step into the realm of gaming content creation, you wholeheartedly make gaming your job. And in the current climate of Let's Plays not being enough, you can't just hit record and have people watch you play 2 hours of a game unless you're a goated vet who was in the space for that niche early. This requires hours of thinking, analyzing, and planning. Especially once you're past the stage of just do it. Again, if you're gonna do it, just do it, but once you're past that stage, once you discover your niche and have an idea of what you need to do, there's always more to obsess over, more to learn, and more to improve on. Let's say your idea is going over different mods in Skyrim or gun builds in Call of Duty. Sure, the ideas seem specific enough and can provide value someone is looking for, but in COD's case, there are thousands of other people doing the same, and in Skyrim's case, there are so many videos and channels out there who have covered the material, pretty much everything is done, and then you have to think about your growth rate. Yes, with COD, it's a very saturated marketplace, but that means a lot of people are looking, but again, you're fighting all those other people. And then with Skyrim, sure, nowadays there's less people looking it up, but it has a cult fan base, but again, there's less people looking it up, so that all depends on your actual growth goal. On the surface, what separates you from everyone else is you, but on a very serious reality check level, that's just not enough. Not only does your content need to be great, not good, but great production-wise, it has to be supremely unique, and your mannerisms and personality are only a small factor in that equation. All of this thinking and analyzing will change the way you play games forever. Every game will have you thinking, is this the one? is this the channel pivot I need to make? Then you may try that and have a great idea just to realize that that was the only idea you have for that game and nothing to follow up with that will interest the same viewers you gained if you gained any. Imagine every time you play a game, you no longer are getting lost in the world. You're now obsessing over if this playthrough is content worthy. On an advice side, this is why it's good to have rules about which games are content and which are for fun. Like for me personally, I will never make content about comic books or comic book games because that is reserved for my soul and relaxation. Now some may say, oh well, if that's your passion, then you should make content about that because it'll be easy. And for some, that would make sense. But a lot of us are multifaceted and you truly have to decide which interests and hobbies should be monetized and which ones should stay sacred for the love of the topic. Now, back to gaming. As many of us know, it's one of the hardest niches to embark on because everyone with a console or PC can record and upload to YouTube, and that's why many say it's oversaturated. But I would like to correct that statement and say, sure, it's oversaturated with content, but not good content. And the man I am, I will always root on the side of chasing one's passions. But remember, it will change how you see gaming for the rest of your life. And even if you go the variety route, if you're doing things proper, you will at some point have to pick one game or genre to stick with solely for growth. Then risk pivoting because everything gets old at some point. And even if you hit millions of views, you'll watch it degrade to thousands. In which the cycle continues and you pick up another game and say, is this the pivot? Then you'll question when you're playing to record versus when you're playing to become knowledgeable about the game and beating it just so you know things. And to keep it all in reality, at this point, there are some of these bigger channels out there that get early access, and when you're first starting to grow, you're not going to have that. So you have to keep that in mind, and that's when these guides and things like that might not be the best way. They'll be a way, but might not be the best because the guides are already out before you even could touch the game because you're starting out, which is fine. I'm not saying don't do it, but keep all of this in mind. Now sure, you can decide to record and play for knowledgeability at the same time, but every hard drive has a capacity, so you'll need to work on efficiency when it comes to that. Again, now imagine all of this running through your mind every single time you touch a game. That plus everyone going try hard and being riddled with tutorials in their brain the first week any new FPS or RPG game comes out almost ruins the experience of even playing with friends. We used to spend time discovering secrets together or just getting good traditionally through the work and the grind. Nowadays, the minute a game comes out, your friend already knows the best weapons, gear, or paths to take and tells you how to play the game before you even knew it had secrets in the first place. So I say, if you're in the ranks thinking of becoming a gaming creator, you have my support. Do every goal like it means something, enjoy yourself, and become the person you're meant to be. But remember, once you put on those glasses, your vision changes forever. And in the lane of playing games and it being ruined by the overly educated co-op players, I don't know. I don't think we can put the genie back in the bottle. Everyone is eager to know one more thing than the next person. And hey, sometimes a good tutorial is needed. I get it. Hell, I make them. But just don't forget sometimes to sit back and enjoy things without trying to one up the next man or trying to make a video, or even if you're not making videos, just enjoy the games. You don't have to know everything sometimes. What effect do you think content has on gaming? Let me know below. I love this dialogue and analyzing these types of things. But anyway, much love as always. Be safe out there.